Hello, and welcome to episode 1 of the Nate Stories podcast. These podcasts should be around 10 minutes, unless I change my mind later, and I'm just going to ramble. It's going to be like the little cartoons, but not cartoons. Well said. Like the cartoons are going to have stories and plots and characters. These are just going to be my ramblings. Generally, where I get the cartoon ideas is from ramblings like this, and I'll take a little segment that I think is cartoon worthy, and I'll animate it. So maybe down the road I'll make a podcast, and I'll be like, "Oh, I like that section," and then I'll animate it, and it will be like fully circular. It's like a secret. Yeah. So let's get on to talking about things. It's just me, and let's do a little bit about me. Things that I like. I like animation. I like movies. I like comedy. I like drama. I like tennis. I like pizza. And I like cookies. I mean, that's a pretty good list. Things that I don't like. Bad animation, bad comedy, bad tennis, bad pizza. Although there is a place for bad pizza in this world. I really wish I had pizza. All right, yeah. So, one thing I've actually been thinking about lately is being negative versus being positive. I think it's a lot more fun to be negative about things in life, but it's a lot better mentally to be positive about things. So, like, what I'll do is, like, I'm walking around and I'm looking at people, and I just come up with these mini heckles in my head towards everybody I see. And it's never, like, positive heckles. Like, yesterday I saw a really young kid walking around in a Hawaiian t-shirt, and I just thought, he's dressing for the dream job that he's always wanted, being that old American tourist in some random country. It's not even that good of a heckle. And I find that being negative is just unhelpful generally. But I digress. This entire podcast is a digression, if you get what I mean. Another thing that I've been trying to do lately is I heard from Sam Harris, of all people. He has a podcast. I heard that the more words that you know, the smarter you are. And I don't know many words, so I want to be smarter, so I learn more words. Caveman, yes. So I got an app on my phone that gives me a new word a day. And it's been giving me some negative words, like invective, which means insulting language. But it also has been giving me some good words, like delectable. Is that a word? I don't know. Where's my phone? I don't know. Now I don't know if that's the right word. Wait. Delectable. That's just a normal word. No, I'm not an idiot. I knew that word. It's delectation, right? I'm just going to get my phone. Hold on. Delectation. I'm pretty sure it's delectation, and it's like to feel pleasure. Wait for abstruse. That's a good one. Delectation. See, not delectable. I was just getting confused. See, what? No, wait. I'm trying to get it.
Delectation.
Yeah. Delectation. I finally got together some new links for your pleasure and delectation. That context gives nothing away. That was it being used in a sentence. It means pleasure and delight. It's a noun. It has 1,755 likes. That number gives me delectation. But yeah, I feel like learning more words, well, at least the message, and wherever I heard this message, it was that the more words you know, it's kind of like you can say more things. Like if you can say can, you can look at it and be like, that's a can. But say if you know it's an aluminum can, you now know what aluminum is, and you can like break it down even further. So with words, it's like abstract subjects. You can then break them down. Or abstruse subjects. I'm on fire. I know 3 words. This is a new thing. This is like 3 days in that I've been doing this little expedition into the vernacular of the English language. I'm going to use these words all incorrectly, and I'm going to think I sound smart. and I'm not going to. And people are going to call me out, and it's going to be fantastic. I don't have a word that describes that situation. Isn't there a German word? Like Schadenfreude? No, that's pleasure from people's pain. I never was much of an English guy. I liked stories, but I was never good at writing them or articulating things in essays and in writing. I've always been more of like a feel kind of person. I'll feel the story and then I'll try to articulate that feeling, but it never worked with the English language. This probably makes no sense. Why are you still listening to this? I tend to make a lot of short-term goals. Or maybe is it long-term goals? I don't know. It's like the word thing where I just decided one day that I was going to learn a new word. And years ago, I did a thing called the push-up challenge. And it was a very similar mindset where I was just like, I'm going to do this thing. And the problem with a lot of these short-term goals or long-term goals, that was like 3 or 4 months, I think. I don't remember. Is that they need an ending, and they need like a thing that you're trying to do that you can like overcome, and then either you finish it or you don't finish it. But regardless, the same thing ends up happening is once you either get bored of doing the same thing with no long-term goal, or if you do it and you complete the goal, you just end up stop doing it, and everything I learned is just for naught. That's not a word, I just know that one. That's not it. Naught. Another thing I've been thinking about. This is a change of subject. This is what I tend to do. The English language is really weird. How come second means, okay, if you're in a line, there's first and there's second, so you're second in line, but it also means time, like minute, second. Those are things that have nothing to do with each other, yet it's the same word, same spelling. What's the deal? I've always heard people complain about other languages where it's like the way they pronounce a word is slightly different, and if you don't speak that language, then it all sounds the same. But in English, we have words that are the same, and the context can be really similar, but they mean different things. Like that second over there. I don't know. I'm not good at English. Why did I pigeonhole myself into making me talk about English? Yeah, what else did I say? So the negative things. I guess this late in my 10-minute podcast, I can do a mailbag so I can answer questions. But since this is the first podcast, I have no questions. So let me make one up. Hey Nate, how are you? I'm doing pretty good, thanks. Me? That's it. That's the only question I have. I'm so sorry. Another thing that I've actually... So the push-up challenge was like the first goal that I made, but I did another goal, and I wanted to do a cartoon about this other one, which was about getting fit, and I did one of those TV fitness programs, and I really wanted to make a cartoon about it or something about it, but I also didn't want to advertise the program that I used. As you can tell, I'm not even saying it in this one. Either for legal reasons or for some other reasons. Yeah, I did Insanity, and it was because a friend of mine kept telling me to do Insanity, that it would really help tennis, not necessarily losing weight, but it's like a 60-day goal, and that fit in my head of like, okay, I can do that for 60 days, that's a goal, and I went with it, and yeah, I did it, and it was pretty good. Oh man, what am I talking about? And then after that 60 days, I stopped and reverted to my previous self. Well, I kind of have. I jumped around a little bit. It is hard to ramble, So, I don't want to talk about politics. Nobody wants to hear about politics right now. Life is supposed to be fun, and politics are argumentative and not fun, and they're scary, and, what else? I guess I should write out a list of subjects that I can just ramble about before I make this. I did start to, but then I stopped because I was like, just record. Would I make any of this into a cartoon? I don't know. There's not really a story. There's not really a cohesive subject. I mean, maybe there is. Maybe I would just edit together a version of just the times I say, so it makes me stop saying, just a, Is, even a word? It has to be. I mean, do other people from, I'm just, there it is again. It's everywhere. You know, so I live in New York. You take the subway, you walk around, you see lots of different people. That's pretty cool, Nate. Yeah, I got 30 seconds on my timer, but I'm probably going to edit this, so... Like, I'm going to edit out the pauses and when I repeat statements and things until I can... This is the first podcast. Be quiet, you. Be quiet. Negative thing in my head. Be positive. This podcast is great. I should really edit that out. I should really just edit this entire podcast out. Yeah, so I guess I can talk a little bit about the animations here. I am making various things. Problem with animation is that it takes so long, and it's just finding the time to then sit down and do the grunt work, unless I were to pay somebody to do it for me. Like some kind of animation businessman. Or producer. Never mind. Yeah, I guess that should be enough. Let me know what you think of this podcast, if it is insane, or if thoughts, questions, concerns. Leave a comment or send a message to me. Yeah. That's it, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to the Nate Stories Podcast, Episode 1. Have a fabulous day.